Hi there, welcome to yoga. Today's practice will be a gentle flow, and there'll be some restorative elements in it. So I recommend having some props. So have a blanket on hand. If you have a bolster, grab that. If you don't have a bolster, grab a couple of pillows from your bed or a large cushion and 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, use a couple large books, or you don't need them. So let's start grounding into our sit bones for our seated meditation. Sit cross-legged, shoulders relaxed, spine long, rest your eyes, or a soft gaze. And take a large inhale into your nose, filling up your belly completely, up through your chest, and then exhaling out all the air through your nose or mouth. Nice, easy breaths. We're settling into our practice. Anything that happened today or anything that's happening in the future, put that aside. We'll focus in on the present moment. The best way to do that is focus in on your inhales and your exhales. Start a breath exercise. Inhale in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue on with that breath exercise, or find a different variation, increasing your inhales or exhales. Remember to keep filling in through your belly, up through your chest, and then exhaling out completely. We'll take a few more rounds of breath in our seated meditation. Take one more inhale in. Exhale out completely. Let's open our eyes. And let's start in a stay in our seated position. We'll start stretching out our neck. So we'll start do our neck rolls. So we'll circle our chin down, right to left, and then left to right. If it's comfortable to you, you can roll your head back. You can do half circles or full circles with your neck. And then reverse the motion. Do one more. And then back to center. And we'll do shoulder rolls to the front for 1, 2, 3. Roll back for 1, 2, 3. And then we'll lift our right arm up tall, placing the right palm of our hand on the left side of our head, and then dropping our right ear towards right shoulder. And then you want to have a gentle push-pull motion, and you'll feel the stretch on the left side of your neck. And then release. We'll do the other side. Left arm raises, left palm on the right side of the head, dropping the left ear towards the left shoulder, and a gentle push-pull motion. And release back to center. And then we'll do a seated little flow here. So inhale, sweep your arms up tall. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Gaze is over your right shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Gaze over your left shoulder. Inhale, arms up tall. Interlace your fingers. Flip your palms up. Take a long body stretch. And then exhale, hinge at your hips. Take a seated forward fold. Hands on mat. Release your neck. Take a few breaths here. And then our next inhale, we'll curl our spine up one vertebra at a time. Head comes last, shoulders pull back. Let's make our way to a tabletop position. So we want to make sure our wrists are directly under shoulders, knees directly under hips. Our knees are hip distance apart, hands shoulder distance apart. And then from here, we're going to start our cat and cow flow. So on our inhale, belly drops, head rises for cow pose. Exhale, spine curls up, head drops for cat pose. Inhale to cow pose. Exhale to cat. You can continue on this cat and cow flow or add additional motions like moving side to side, moving into child's pose. Just feel what feels good to you and what your spine needs right now. We'll take a few more rounds of our flow, warming up our spine. Take one more inhale, and then exhale back to a neutral spine. From here, our next pose is going to be called tiger pose. So we'll lift our right leg up, or our right leg is still bent, and we're still in that tabletop position, but our belly will start to drop and our head will rise, like in cow. Take a few breaths here, and then exhale, release, back to tabletop. And then we'll do the left side. So on our inhale, lift our left leg up, belly drops, head rises, for tiger pose. And then exhale, release. And then from here, from our tabletop position, we'll tuck our toes under and lift our hips up for our first downward facing dog of practice. So in your downward facing dog, you want to check in on your alignment, make sure your hands are shoulder distance apart, your feet are hip distance apart. You're in inverted V. You want to have a nice bend in your knees if you need that. The goal here is to have a long spine. You can start to shake your head yes and no. You can pedal out your heels in your downward facing dog. Just warming up our legs. Then on our next exhale, we'll make our way back into a downward facing dog. And then on our next inhale, we'll step our right foot through in between our hands for a runner's lunge. In our runner's lunge, we'll drop our back knee down, and we're in a low lunge here. And then when you're ready, rise up for our low lunge. Shoulders pulled down. Make sure your knee is stacked above your ankle. Your back, your left leg is straight behind you. You can gently press forward to feel stretch in your hips. Then on our next exhale, we'll bring our hands down to the mat, and then we'll straighten our right leg. You may have to move your right leg forward. Press our right heel into the ground, right toes facing up. And then hinge forward towards that right leg for half splits. You want to make sure your hips are still up and you're not pushing back on your hips. And on your next inhale, let's make our way into a runner's lunge. Take your time. You'll tuck your back toes under and you're in your runner's lunge. And then when you're ready, slowly rise up to our crescent lunge. So our shoulders are pulled down, right leg still at that 90-degree angle, and your back foot and the ball of your left foot is pressing into the mat, and your left heel is up. Hips face forward. And then our next exhale, we will rotate our back foot to be parallel to the back edge of the mat. Right leg is at a 90-degree angle. Our arms are at a T. Make sure your arms are strong, your shoulders aren't shrugged up. Relax your shoulders, gaze is over your right hand. And your tailbone is slightly tucked under. Then on your next inhale, flip your right palm up, reach forward, sweep that right arm above your head for a reverse warrior. So your left arm can be by your side or binded behind you. Gaze is at the ceiling, and your legs are still the same as they were in Warrior 2. Then on your next exhale, back to Warrior 2, and then we'll take a side bend to the right, right arm, inner right thigh, left arm straight up tall, gaze is up at the ceiling for extended side angle. And again, our legs are still the same as they are in Warrior 2 and in a reverse warrior. And then inhale back to Warrior 2. And then exhale, we'll bring our hands down to that runner's lunge and then step back into downward facing dog. We'll take a few breaths in our downward facing dog. You want to build up some heat. Think of your Ujjayi breath, which is that inhale in through your nose, and then on your exhale, you're constricting the back of your throat as you exhale through your nose. It's like fogging up a mirror. Let me switch around. Keep holding that downward facing dog. And then on our next inhale, we'll step our left foot through in between our hands for a runner's lunge. Drop that back knee down, and then we'll rise up into that low lunge. Remember, left knee stacked above left ankle, arms up tall, right leg straight behind you. If you feel you need to adjust your posture, that's okay. This is yoga practice, not perfection. And then on your next exhale, we'll bring our hands down and then straighten our left leg. You may have to walk your left foot forward a little bit, dig your left heel into the mat, left toes up, and then start to hinge towards that left leg. Take a few breaths here. And then on our next inhale, back into that low lunge, and then rise up into the runner's lunge, and then slowly rise up to crescent lunge. Make sure your hips are square, alignment still the same, left knee stacks above left ankle, and your right foot, the ball of your right foot is pressed into the mat, lifting that right heel up. Then on our next exhale, Our right foot turns to be parallel to the back edge of the mat. Left legs at that 90-degree angle. Tee out your arms. Strong arms, gaze over your left hand for warrior two. Keep that breath. Then on our next inhale, reach forward, flip that left palm, sweep that left arm above your head for reverse warrior. So your right arm is by your side or binded behind you. Legs still stay the same. Gaze up at the ceiling. And then on your next exhale, tee out your arms to warrior two, and then side bend to the left arm, inner left thigh, right arm opens up for extended side angle. Maintaining that leg position. And then on our inhale, we'll rise up into star pose. So our arms are like a star and our legs. So we want to make sure our feet are at a 45-degree angle, toes out, heels in. And then on our exhale, we're going to squat down into goddess pose, so our elbows come into our sides. Palms are up. You can stay static here, or you can move side to side. Yogi's choice. Keep your breath. Then inhale, rise up into star pose, but adjust your feet to be parallel, toes facing forward. And then on our exhale, hinge forward. Take a wide-legged forward fold. You have an option here to use your blocks for support, or you can grab the back of a chair, or you can use your wall if you want to just fold halfway. Remember, go as far as you can with your body. Don't push it. You know your limitations. So you can keep your arms in this ragdoll position. You can keep your hands to the mat. Maintain your breath. And then exhale, release our hands, and then we'll walk our hands towards that right foot into that runner's lunge. And then we'll step forward into a forward fold. So we're going to have our feet hip distance apart, bend in our knees, releasing our neck. Let's take a ragdoll position here. So let's grab opposite elbows, shaking side to side, front to back. And then exhale, release your hands. And we'll roll our spine up one vertebra at a time. Taking our time. Our head and shoulders come last. Palms face forward. So we're in our mountain pose. So check in on your mountain pose. Make sure your feet are hip distance apart. And you want to press into all four corners of your feet. And then from here, we're going to do a couple balancing poses. So we'll do tree pose. I'm going to mirror you from this angle. So our right foot will be our standing foot. I'm going to step back a little bit so that you can see me better. So our right foot's our standing foot. And then we'll take our left foot. You have a couple options here. You can kickstand your left foot against your right ankle. Or you can bring your left foot to your inner calf or up into inner thigh. Make sure you avoid the knee. So your arms can be by your side. Or option here to grow your branches. Arms up tall. And just focus on an immovable object. Maintain that breath. a challenge. You can close your eyes. That would give you a little bit of a balance challenge. Take a few more breaths here. One more inhale in, exhale out, release. And then we'll shake it out. So do the left side. So our left foot's going to be our balancing foot. So press our left foot into the mat and then take the variation that you choose on this side. Remember your options, the ankle, inner calf, or inner thigh. And then find your position. You can bring your hands to heart center, arms by your side, or option to grow your branches in your tree pose. Keep breathing and focus on an immovable object. And if you fall out, that's okay. Just get back up into your pose again. Couple more breaths. One more inhale in. Exhale out, release. Slowly release your arms and your foot. Shake it out. And then from here, let's do another balancing pose. It's called standing staff pose. So our right foot's our standing leg. Then we will lift our left leg up, keeping our left knee bent, arms by our side, and our left foot is flexed. Option here, you can straighten out your left leg. Make sure your hips don't press forward. You want to keep them neutral. Take one more inhale in, exhale out, release. Shake it out. So we'll do the other foot. So our left foot's our balancing foot, and then we'll lift our right leg up. Right knee is bent, and our right foot is flexed. Option here to extend your right leg, keeping our hips neutral and they're not shifting forward. Take one more inhale in, exhale out, release, shake it out. So let's do a couple more standing poses. So inhale, up tall. Exhale, we will twist to the left. So our right arm's forward, left arm back, gaze is to the right, the left. And then inhale to center. And then exhale, twist to the right. So left arm is forward, right arm is back, gaze is to the right. And then inhale to center, exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to make our way to the seated to the mat. So we'll do a little half sun salutation. So we'll inhale, arms sweep up tall to high mountain pose. Exhale, hinge at your hips, swan dive down to forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. So palms on shins or thighs. And then exhale, hands to the mat. And then we'll come into a beach ball, tight little ball. And then we'll, with control, find our way, our seat to the mat. Okay. So we're going to start some restorative poses here. So I'm going to use my bolster, but if you want to use your pillows for this, that's always a nice option. So we'll bring our bolster to the top of our mat, lengthwise, or your pillow. And so we're going to do a supported child's pose, a really nice restorative posture in a restorative class that you'll see. It's a commonly used pose. So we're going to come into a tabletop above our bolster or our pillow. So we want to make sure when we go down into the child's pose that our face and our torso is supported. So you may have to get 2 pillows for this, depending how big your pillows are. So from here, we'll widen our knees to the width of the mat, and then hips shift back, and then we lie on our bolster, arms by our side, and you can place the side of your head on the bolster. And we'll hold this posture for a couple of minutes. In restorative yoga, you hold poses for a few minutes. Since this is a shortened class, they won't be as long. Just melt in your posture. The goal of restorative yoga is to be as comfortable as possible. So add, subtract props as you need. And I'll guide you out when it's time. Take a few more rounds of breath in our supported child's pose. Take one more inhale in, exhale out completely, and then slowly make your way back into tabletop. And let's bring our prop to the side. Come back into tabletop. Let's release our back. Let's do a couple cat and cows, some spinal movement. It's always nice to bring a little bit of movement after a restorative posture. All right, and then from tabletop, we'll make our way to a seat. I always like to do a core exercise in every class. So we're going to do a supported boat pose. So our knees are bent, feet flat on the mat. And this will be a gentle version of a boat pose. So we'll come back on our forearms. And then when you're ready, you'll lift your legs up. So you can keep your knees bent or extend your legs out. And we'll take a few breaths here. Take one more inhale in, exhale out completely, and then we'll lower our legs to low boat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower your legs. And then we'll come back up, hug our knees into chest. And then let's make our way to our backs on our mat. Extending our legs in front of us. So we're going to bring our right knee to chest and our right foot is flexed. So you can keep your left leg extended or keep your left leg bent. It's yogi's choice, what feels the most optimal for you. And you can rock your right knee side to side. It's a really nice, gentle stretch. You can do little circles with your knee. switch directions. And then back to center. And then from here we'll do a half happy baby pose. So it might suit you best to keep your left leg bent. And then with your right leg, you'll extend your right leg. And you have a couple options here. You can grab your peace fingers around your right big toe, outside of your right foot, your ankle, or behind the knee. I'm going to take outside of my right foot. And you want to bring your right knee towards your right armpit. Grounding your hips into the mat. This is another nice gentle stretch for your hips. Take one more inhale in. Exhale out and release your right foot. And we'll do the left side, so we'll bring left knee to chest. Left foot is flexed. You can extend your right leg or keep your right leg bent, yogi's choice. And you just rock your knee from side to side, your left knee. Loosening up that left hip. And then you can do little circles with your left knee. And then reverse the motion. And then back to center. And then we'll do half happy baby on this side. So you want to bring your right foot to your right leg to be bent. And then you'll straighten your left leg and take the variation that you would like on this side. Make sure you bring that left knee towards your left armpit. Grounding your hips into the mat. And just keep breathing here. One more inhale in, exhale out, release your left foot, and then let's take a long body stretch, like a good morning stretch. And then from here, let's take Supta Baddha Konasana, which is a nice pose. So you'll bring the soles of your feet together, and your legs are in a butterfly position. And your arms are by your side, your palms can be up or down. This is a nice pose to have blocks supporting your knees if you want more of a restorative option. Or your pillows or your books. Having a nice inner thigh stretch in this pose. Take one more inhale in. Exhale out completely. And we'll slowly come back to a seat. And we'll prepare for our next posture. So grab your pillow or bolster, or you can use the blanket for this one. So if you use the blanket for this one, I would fold it like in a nice big rectangle like this. So we're going to do a supported fetal position. Let me get my props out of the way. You can see me. I'll switch sides. So we'll start on the left side. So we want to bring your pillow or your bolster or your blanket next to your left hip. And your legs are kind of in a staggered position. And then when you're ready, you'll just lie over your prop, and your left arm is extended in front of you, and your right hand can just be by your side or just on your prop. So this is a supported fetal position. We'll hold this for a couple minutes, and I'll guide you out of it when we're ready. I'll take a few more rounds of breath here. Take one more inhale in. Exhale out completely. We'll rise up out of our fetal position. So we'll switch sides. Then we'll bring our prop towards our right hip, stagger our legs, and then lower down with our right arm in front, and then our left leg on the bolster, resting our head on the mat. You can always use your block to support your head if you feel like you can't reach the mat. I'll take a few more rounds of breath here. Take one more inhale in. Exhale out completely. And then let's rise back up. And then we'll place our props aside. And then from here, let's make our way to our backs again, with our knees bent, feet flat on the floor. And then from here, we're going to do a bridge pose. It'll be a gentle bridge. So your arms are by your side, feet pressed into the mat, and then you'll make sure your knees are directly above your ankles. Press into your feet, lift your hips off the mat, arms by your side. Make sure there's space between your chin and your chest. Pressing your hips up. Take a few more breaths here. Take one more inhale in. Exhale out completely. Roll your spine down one vertebra at a time. And then bring knees to chest. And then we'll rock from side to side. And then from here, we'll bring our legs, our shins to a tabletop, tee out your arms, and then we'll drop our knees to the right for a supine twist, grounding our shoulders into the mat. Gaze can be up at the ceiling, or you can gaze to the left. And then on your next exhale, knees to center. And then we'll bring our knees to the left. Gaze either at the ceiling or to the right. And then our next exhale, knees to center, hug your knees into chest, rock side to side. And then our next posture, we're going to use the wall. We're going to do legs up the wall, which is a nice inversion to end your practice before Shavasana. So to get into your legs up the wall position using the wall, so you want to bring your right hip towards the wall, and then lie down. Bring your legs up. You may have to scoot a little bit closer to the wall. Arms by your side. Keep your feet flexed. And then we'll hold this for about 10 breaths. So settle in here. This is a really great way to relax at the end of the night, before bedtime. Reversing the blood flow in our legs. One more breath. Inhale completely. Exhale out through nose or mouth. And then to get out of the pose, you want to bend your knees and just roll off to the side. And then from here, let's find our way to our backs. Let's walk our feet to the width of the mat, and then windshield wiper our knees from side to side. And then from here, find your way into your final resting pose of choice. You can do traditional Shavasana with your legs extended in front of you, arms by your side. Palms can be up or down, or you can stay in a Supta Baddha Konasana like we did earlier. Fetal position, or you can do Shavasana on your belly, supporting your head with your hands, or you can take a traditional meditation pose. Just settle into your your final resting pose of choice, your Shavasana. Do a final body scan from the crown of your head down through your neck, shoulders, arms, hands, back, hips, legs, knees, and feet. I always always read a meditation reading for every class. And it's from Journey to the Heart by Melody Beattie. And the reading today is called Learn to Clear Your Path. There are often obstacles on our path, roadblocks, barricades, detours, things to go over, around, or under. Sometimes the roadblocks are telling us no, this door isn't opening, find another way. Other times the roadblocks are telling us that the road we have chosen is very special. If we want to go down it, we will have to try. We will have to focus. We will have to muster our energy and show the world how badly we want it. We will have to overcome each and every obstacle one by one as they appear. What do you want badly? Are you willing to go through an obstacle course, if need be, to achieve it? Are you willing to be tested for the universe? Are you willing to focus, push forward, go the distance? Sometimes the road ahead is blocked, but clearing the way becomes part of our journey. Learn to tell when it's time to let go, to surrender, to search for another road, a different path, another dream. But also learn to tell when it's time to move forward, through obstacles if need be, because the dream is electric, charged by divine energy and love. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, wrists and ankles. And start to transition to the right or left side of your mat into a fetal position, using your arm as a pillow. Take a few moments there. And when you're ready, slowly make your way to a comfortable seated position, cross-legged. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any feedback. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.